In North Korea, elite female hackers aren't just fighting cyber wars, they're fighting for their dignity. While we debate online privacy, 25 million North Koreans have never experienced a single day of freedom. Today's story comes from someone who had it all. In the regime's eyes, a top university degree, national commendations, a prestigious job. But she discovered that in a totalitarian state, even the most privileged women are just tools to be used. This is the story of how one woman turned her skills against the very system that betrayed her. If these stories matter to you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us bring these untold stories to light. Together, we can be a voice for those who cannot speak. I'm not an ordinary North Korean defector. I was one of the regime's prized talents. My parents' pride. I grew up in Patonggang District, Pyongyang. Our apartment overlooked the Taedong River. My father taught mathematics at Kim Il-sung University. My mother was a doctor at the district hospital. In North Korea, we were blessed. From an early age, my father taught me computers. "Sujin, if you master this, you'll serve our country well." I believed him. I studied day and night. When I entered Kim Il-sung University's computer science program at the top of my class, I can still see the joy on my parents' faces. After graduation in 2014, I was assigned to a cyber warfare unit under the Reconnaissance General Bureau, North Korea's equivalent of the CIA. I became a hacker. In North Korea, hackers aren't criminals. We were warriors serving the state. My mission was simple: steal foreign currency from overseas banks. My superiors told us this is justified retaliation against the imperialists who oppress us. I believed them. From 2020 to 2023, I hacked American and Japanese banks. Hundreds of millions passed through my hands. I received 3 national commendations. At 27, I became a team leader. My parents were proud. Whenever I visited, my mother would secretly buy pork from the market, nearly impossible to find. I didn't know then how precious those moments were. I thought I was happy. Serving my country. Making my parents proud. Being recognized for my skills. I never questioned the system. Sometimes I wondered about the world beyond my screen. People speaking freely, laughing openly. But that was all. In early 2024, I extracted 300 million won from a Japanese bank. The Central Committee sent a commendation. I felt proud. Days later, a high-ranking official invited me to dinner. "Comrade Sujin, I'd like to meet you and offer encouragement." I thought it was an honor. When I told my parents, they couldn't have been happier. That day, my life changed completely. That evening, I went to the official's residence. A large house in central Pyongyang. The table was laden with Pyongyang cold noodles and meat. The official was kind. "Comrade Sujin, you've worked hard." He personally presented the commendation. I felt honored. After dinner, others left one by one. I prepared to leave too, but the official stopped me. "Stay a little longer." I was left alone in that house. I can't tell you what happened that night. But I'll say this: after that night, I wasn't myself anymore. I came home at dawn. Couldn't look in the mirror. No matter how much I washed, I didn't feel clean. Days later, another summons came. "Comrade Sujin, I need a work briefing." I couldn't refuse. Refusing meant danger for my family. That day, the same thing happened. And again the following week. One day in the bathroom, I ran into a colleague. Her eyes were swollen. "Sujin, you went to see him too." She was experiencing the same thing. Most women in our department were. "You have to endure it. The moment you speak up, we're finished." Her voice trembled. I resisted once. My father got fired from his job. That's when I understood. I wasn't a technician. I was just an object they used when they wanted. 2 or 3 times a week, the summons came. Work briefings, technical consultations, project discussions. Different excuses, same result. Every night I cried. Silently, under the covers. I wanted to die, but I couldn't even do that. If I died, what would happen to my parents? One day I visited my parents. My mother asked, "Sujin, why does your face look like that lately?" I couldn't answer. "Just busy with work." My mother took my hand. "My daughter works so hard. Let me make you seaweed soup." Tears nearly spilled over, but I held them back. How could I tell my mother? That night, I made a decision. I couldn't live like this. Those who did this to me would pay. But I didn't know how yet. One thing was certain: someday, I would escape this place. It continued. 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes 4 or 5. When summoned, I moved like a robot. I tried not to feel anything. It was the only way to survive. At the office, I still worked. Hacking foreign banks, tracking cryptocurrency accounts, breaking security systems. My hands typed, but my mind was empty. My colleagues must have noticed the disappearance of my expressions. How I stopped smiling, but no one asked. They knew it wouldn't help. In summer 2024, a new recruit joined our department. Kim Yeon, 22. Bright and smart. I used to be like that, I thought. 2 months later, Yeon was summoned too. After that day, her eyes changed. The same eyes I had. One day Yeon came to me. Senior, I can't do this anymore. I want to tell my parents and quit. I grabbed her hand. Don't. The moment you speak, not just you but your parents are finished. But Yeon didn't listen. The following week, she formally protested to the higher-ups. This is wrong. I'm a technician, not their property. A week later, Yeon disappeared. Rumors said she went to a political prison camp. Her parents were expelled from Pyongyang. I was terrified. Yeon wasn't brave, she was reckless. But I envied her too. Why didn't I have that courage? Why did I just keep enduring? That night, I seriously considered death for the first time. I opened the window and looked down. 15 floors. If I jumped, it would all be over. But my parents' faces appeared. If I died, what would happen to my mother? My father? My sibling? The guilt by association system would destroy them all. I closed the window. I cried. Not tears of wanting to live, but tears of being unable to die. That's when I realized, if I couldn't run, resist, or die, only one option remained. Revenge. I would strike back at those who made me this way. At this rotten system, before I left. From that day, I changed. Outwardly obedient, but inside I began planning. Someday, an opportunity would come. After deciding on revenge, I became cold. Emotions wouldn't help. I needed a plan. A perfect one. My job gave me access to the regime's deepest secrets. Overseas bank accounts, cryptocurrency wallets, slush fund flows. Especially Kim Jong-un's personal slush fund account information. From fall 2024, I prepared quietly. Under the guise of work, I carefully investigated the slush fund accounts. The total about 2 trillion won. An unimaginable sum. Our people were starving, yet this money sat hidden in Swiss and Singaporean banks. I made a plan. Steal all of it. And defect. Both had to happen simultaneously. If I stole the money and stayed in North Korea, I'd die. If I only defected without the money, it wasn't revenge. I prepared for months. Created several cryptocurrency wallets. Set them up untraceable through foreign servers. Researched defection routes. Got a Chinese broker's contact information. The hardest part was my parents. How could I tell them? If I did, they'd stop me. If I didn't, they'd be in danger after I disappeared. After much thought, I decided. I wouldn't say anything. Instead, I wrote a letter. Mother, Father, forgive me. Your daughter is being unfilial. But this is the only way I can live as a human being. I hope we can meet again someday. I hid the letter. Someone would find it after I left. December 2025, all preparations were complete. D-Day December 15th. That dawn, I would steal the slush funds and immediately defect. The last weekend, I visited my parents. My mother made soybean paste stew. Sujin, you look better lately. I smiled. Yes, mother. I'm okay now. It was a lie, but I wanted to reassure her. I wanted to feel my mother's warm hands one last time. On the way home, I looked at the Taedong River. This city where I'd lived for 28 years. I'd never see it again. Tears came, but I had no regrets. Just a few more days to endure. Just a few days left. Soon everything would begin. I was ready. December 15, 2025, 2 a.m. D-Day arrived. I was alone in the office. I'd stayed under the pretense of night duty. My hands trembled. My heart felt ready to burst. But I had to do it. I turned on the computer. Accessed Kim Jong-un's slush fund accounts. 3 Swiss banks, 2 Singaporean banks, and 10 cryptocurrency wallets. Over 2 trillion won total. Money hidden while North Korean people starved. My fingers danced across the keyboard. I executed code I prepared for a year. One by one, accounts fell. Money began flowing into the cryptocurrency wallets I'd created. It took 3 hours. 5 a.m. The final transfer completed. 2 trillion won, all in my hands. I erased my tracks, deleted logs, manipulated access records. At least a week before discovery. Enough time. 5:30 I left the office. Left with my usual greeting. Good work. The guard nodded. I went to the meeting spot. Behind a factory on Pyongyang's outskirts. The broker was waiting. Ready? I nodded. I hid in a truck and left Pyongyang. Headed to North Hamgyong province. 12 hours to the Tumen River border. 11 p.m. That night, I reached the Tumen River. The river was frozen, but some parts weren't completely frozen. -15 degrees Celsius. Hurry and cross. Patrol time is coming, the broker urged. I took a deep breath. I stepped onto the river. The ice creaked. 1 step, 2 steps. Halfway across, I heard a voice behind me. Stop, border patrol. Gunshots rang out. I ran, the sound of ice breaking. My foot plunged into water. Freezing, my whole body felt like it was turning to ice. But I couldn't stop. I crossed desperately. Chinese soil came into view. Just a little more, a little more. Finally, I stepped onto Chinese ground. I looked back. North Korean territory. Where I was born and raised. Where my parents were. A place I'd never see again. I survived. And I did it. The first stage of revenge. This was just the beginning. I'd reached Chinese soil, but I wasn't safe. It was dangerous here too. The broker took me to a Korean Chinese home in Yeonji. Hide here for a few days. I'll find a way to get you to South Korea. I was grateful. 2 days later, news came that North Korea was in chaos. The slush funds had disappeared. A nationwide manhunt was issued. They were looking for me. The Korean Chinese woman said worriedly, North Korean agents came to Yeonji. They're looking for you. I was terrified. If caught here, it's over. I stayed hidden. During the day, I stayed in the room. Couldn't even open the window. Couldn't go outside. I felt trapped. Every night I thought about my parents. By now they'd be under investigation because of me. My mother would be crying, my father in shock. My heart felt torn apart. A week later, more danger came. News that Chinese public security was cracking down on this neighborhood. Looking for North Korean defectors to send back. If sent back, I die. In the middle of the night, I moved to another house. This time, a Korean Chinese pastor's home. The pastor said, "Don't worry. God will protect you." I had no faith, but those words comforted me. The pastor's family treated me like family. Gave me food, clothes, warm words. We're the same people, yet we live such different lives. The pastor's daughter said, I thought the same thing. One river apart, heaven and hell. So close. A month passed. The broker contacted me. I found a way to Thailand. Got you a fake passport. Hope appeared. But that night, a suspicious car stopped in front of the house. Likely North Korean agents. The pastor quickly sent me out the back door. Go now. We'll be fine. I ran again. Different neighborhood, different house. A life on the run. But I couldn't give up. I'd come this far. I'd stolen 2 trillion won. I had to reach South Korea alive. That was the only way to complete my revenge. Days later, the departure date was finally set. Flying to Thailand. This was truly the last hurdle. January 2026, I stood in a Chinese airport. Holding a fake Chinese passport. Even my name was different. Wang Mei. I was Wang Mei now. I had to pass through security. My heart felt ready to burst. The officer looked at the passport. Looked at the face. Looked at me. Time seemed to stop. Go ahead, the officer said. I survived. I boarded the plane. Bangkok bound. China receded outside the window. North Korea receded further. Tears came. 5 hours later, I arrived in Bangkok. Hot air hit me. This was a place without winter. Strange. The person the broker promised was waiting at the airport. A Korean Chinese man. I'll take you to the Korean embassy. We took a taxi. Bangkok's streets were unfamiliar. Neon signs, tall buildings, many cars. A completely different world from North Korea. About an hour in, a car was following us. The man said, something's wrong. That car keeps following. Could be North Korean agents. They might have chased me here. I trembled. Please hurry. The man sped up, turned into an alley. The car still followed, but at some point, it disappeared. We'd lost it. The Korean embassy appeared. The Taeguk flag fluttered in the wind. Seeing it, tears poured out. I got out of the taxi and ran. Ran to the embassy gate. A guard stopped me. What's the matter? I'm a North Korean defector. Please help me. My voice shook. The guard called inside. Soon a staff member came out. Come inside. You're safe here. I entered the embassy. In that moment, all tension released. I sank to the floor. I cried. The staff gave me water. Are you okay? You're safe now. You have the right to protection as a citizen of the Republic of Korea. Republic of Korea. Same people, same language, a country that would protect me. It didn't feel real. I was questioned. I told my story, including stealing the slush funds. The staff were shocked. The National Intelligence Service will be very interested. A week later, I boarded a plane to Korea. This time it was real. No more hiding. Headed to Incheon Airport, to the land of freedom. February 2026, I arrived at Incheon Airport. I'll never forget stepping onto Korean soil for the first time. The airport was so bright. People laughed freely. No one was watching. The National Intelligence Service questioned me. I told them everything. The investigator said, "What you've done will go down in history." News came from North Korea. Multiple high-ranking officials were purged over the slush fund incident. The official who tormented me was executed too. I got my revenge. Completely. I received adaptation training at Hanwon. Learned about South Korean society. Democracy, capitalism, human rights. Words forbidden in North Korea. My first time in a convenience store shocked me. Open 24 hours, buy anything anytime. Unimaginable in North Korea. I got a smartphone, used the internet, searched for North Korean news on YouTube. The slush fund incident was widely reported. I saw a headline, "Genius Female Hackers Satisfying Revenge." I went to a mart. Products overflowed. Rice, meat, fruit. I could buy whatever I wanted. While North Koreans starved, I pondered what to do with the stolen money. I could have kept it. But then it would be theft, not revenge. I decided. Donate it all to the state. I told the National Intelligence Service. This money isn't mine. It belongs to the North Korean people. Please use it for reunification funds. The investigator nodded. You're a true patriot. Now I work at a cybersecurity company. Using my skills legitimately. For security, not crime. Sometimes I think about my parents. I miss them, but I can't see them. I heard that after my defection, my parents were expelled from Pyongyang too. If reunification happens someday, can we meet? Can I say proudly? Then, I was right. Freedom isn't free. I lost everything to gain it. Family, hometown, my past. But I don't regret it. Freedom is worth fighting for. Even now, there must be women suffering like I did in North Korea. I want to tell them don't give up. There is always a way. Until reunification comes, I'll do my part here. Spreading the truth about North Korea. Helping defectors, sharing the preciousness of freedom. Thank you sincerely for listening to my story.